Hi, and welcome to Insights 201, Unlock Actionable Insights and Monetize Data on AWS. In this session, we want to look at how we can extract value from the data that we already have. My name is Xuan Li Chang, and I'm a data analytics consultant with AWS Professional Services. And my role is to help de-risk and accelerate our customers' adoption of AWS Cloud and to help them achieve their business objectives faster. With me today, I have Renee Welsh, CEO of Embed, an independent software vendor of AWS. Renee is here to share the incredible story of how Embed created new insights and new revenue streams with data they already had on AWS. So let's dive in. In this 30-minute session, we're going to take a look at some of the challenges of today's landscape. What's stopping our customers in adopting their data journey today? And then we'll look at some strategies that you can adopt to cope with them. But of course, nothing is better than learning from a real-life customer example. So we'll look at how Embed created Stats, a data-as-a-service BI product for entertainment centers. And then we'll wrap it all up with what's next for all of us. In a recent big data survey of key executives, Forbes found that by just making 10% of data more accessible, a typical Fortune 1000 company will see a $65 million increase in net income. Just 10%. Data has become a critical differentiator and enabler of business growth across all industries by improving efficiencies, allowing us to uncover new opportunities, and respond faster to our customer needs in the market. And yet, the collection of data was never the issue. You see, I find it remarkable that according to IDC, 90% of the data that we have today has been collected in the last 2 years alone. Even though data has been growing faster than ever, organizations are still struggling to harness the power of that data. Businesses want to be data-driven, but business intelligence adoption has stagnated at 20 to 30% for decades. In fact, Gartner estimates a whopping 97% of data sits unused by organizations today. And with diverse BI consumption needs, organizations need to enable all kinds of teams and users with data-driven insights. And this includes the vast majority of our business users, operational users, functional users, and executives. So the goal is clear, right? We want to create insights and monetize the data that we have. But how do we get from here to there? We're going to look at two different strategies in this session. The first is that organizations need to democratize data. And this means enabling all teams, including your non-technical ones, with access to data-driven insights. And this means where they work, in the formats that they prefer, and in the moments that matter. And with one unified BI service, your organization can move away from maintaining multiple isolated workloads. Next, we want to be able to leverage on existing data by directly turning them into new products and revenue streams. This will increase the number of products in your portfolio, the customer segment bases that you're targeting, all without requiring additional data collection. So let's look at the first one, enabling non-technical teams to consume data. So I'm pretty sure you know by now, at Amazon, we like to work backwards. When I'm working with my customers, I like to ask them, what are the pain points in consuming data today? And I generally hear the same few patterns come up, which is a good thing, because we already have tried and tested solutions to tackle these specific issues. The first that I normally hear is that non-technical teams simply don't have access to data today. They have no visibility into what's available and the means to get access to them. Oftentimes, they need to rely on a business intelligence resource in order to get access to raw data. And this is because systems have been set up today to require an understanding of SQL if you want to get raw data. And so when this BI resource comes back with the data, it's already in a CSV file, pre-aggregated so that it's not too huge, and your business teams need to then run it through yet another program, Excel, PowerPoint, to finally get to the insights that they actually want. Self-service analytics and a unified BI service resolves this issue well. Allow your non-technical teams to be able to browse what is available, and then request for access to the data sets that they want. AWS Lake Formation adds a layer of governance over your data lake with a graphical user interface and granular access control. For your more advanced users, rather than only accessing your data via SQL, allow them to provision predefined set of analytical resources with AWS Service Catalog, such as a SageMaker notebook, so they can create, test, and train models with the existing data that you have. For non-technical folks, Amazon QuickSight is usually more than sufficient. They can create charts, near-real-time dashboards, aggregating, drilling down as much as they wish without writing a single line of code. At this point, some customers then say, even if I'm able to make my data more accessible today, my business users are not willing to use them because they simply don't have confidence in the data. Even if they trust what is coming directly from the data sources today, how can they trust this new data that's coming from the cloud? And to that, the best approach that we've seen is by implementing transparent data governance processes. Have your data stewards define some critical data elements and also the data quality rules that they need to comply with. Run regular checks on your data and publish those results so that they are available internally to your business users. And have automated processes such that whenever the rules fall below a certain threshold, the data will automatically be cleaned. So business users know that even in the future, the quality of the data is guaranteed. So now, users know what is available and they have an idea of how reliable it is. The final hurdle that I usually hear is, how do I know that this means what I think it means? Because when you have BI run your data for you, all you need to be able to do is to articulate what you want. But with self-service analytics, non-technical teams need to improve their understanding of the data. And this is where a data dictionary and catalog comes in handy. Have your data stewards, again, define what these critical data elements mean from a business and technical standpoint. This means which data sources my values are coming from, and also which business rules have been applied on them. Then your non-technical teams can go into this data dictionary and then figure out if these values actually make sense for them. So work backwards from where you're at, find out your blockers, and then resolve them one by one. In this next strategy, we're going to change gears a bit and look externally rather than internally. So here, we want to leverage on existing data by directly monetizing them and turning them into new revenue streams. SaaS products are usually top-level applications for customers to use. Data as a service product provide data and insights to be consumed. You can either create a complementary product for your existing users, which is what Embed did, or you can create a product for a completely new set of users, which allows you to diversify your customer base. So there are a few modes of delivery. Let's take a look at them. The first option, and the most comprehensive, is to share the entire data set. So here, your users will require an analyst skill set and also some infrastructure to be able to work with the data, but they have full flexibility over what they want to do because they have the entire data set. So typical customers here would be other data teams that want your data to complement theirs. And you can look at AWS Data Exchange as a platform to share your data sets. The next option is to expose APIs to allow other users to programmatically query your data. So this is also a very interesting option because you not only design the APIs, but the charging models that go with them. Are you going to charge by the number of requests? Are you going to charge by the type of request? What kind of insights would they find more valuable? Will you have a free tier versus premium tier? Typical customers here would be other software engineering firms that want to incorporate your data into their applications. And the final approach is to directly deliver the insights through dashboards themselves. These dashboards can then be embedded onto web apps to create a branded, customized experience for your user. If you want, you can even throw in the authoring experience. So your end users, your customers, can have the ability to modify the dashboards or even create new ones from scratch. And with the unified and easy-to-use BI service, your users can have a low-code experience with built-in machine learning out of the box, which is a great option for your non-technical users. So Embed looked at the options that they had and then decided to go with the last approach. The incredible thing is not only what was built, which was the product stats, but also the process in which it was built. Because from conceptualization to rollout, stats only took Embed and AWS Professional Services 12 weeks. And this is how we did it. First, as always, we worked backwards. The AWS team went in to find out what data Embed already collected, as well as explore the personas of their customers today, because it was a complementary product. And then we mapped what insights these personas would find valuable to the insights we could potentially uncover with the data that we had. The next step was to define charging models. We had the standard tier with all the dashboards and insights that we developed, but we also added the enterprise tier with the authoring privileges and functionalities so enterprise users could customize the dashboards as they wished. And a light tier at the top with only the executive summaries for the busy user. Once design was done, we got to work. The dashboards were built with Amazon QuickSight and used the data that Embed already had in their Amazon Redshift cluster. The dashboards were then embedded onto static web apps that were hosted on Amazon S3. And to be able to deliver this to Embed's global reach of customers, we put Amazon CloudFront, a content distribution network, in front of it. And to integrate with Embed's existing identity provider, we use AWS Cognito. So their users never had to be redirected to the AWS console or create new accounts. It was simply another product in their catalog to be used. At this point, I just want to highlight a few key native functionalities of QuickSight that made this entire design possible. The first is the ability to embed not just the dashboards, but also the authoring console onto the static web apps. This means that for the enterprise user, they never had to be redirected to another page in order to modify their dashboards. It all happened within the confines of that branded stats web app. Next is multi-tenancy. To the enterprise users, they could add new viewers, add new authors, and manage everything as if they own the entire account. But to Embed, they were simply tenants to be managed in the same Amazon QuickSight account. Last but not least, row-level security, which allows the users to only see the data which they should have access to, even though the dashboards themselves could have been built with shared underlying infrastructure. And so that's it. That's the whole design, and that's how it was built in just 12 weeks. But now, I'll let Renee come up and share what Stats is actually about and what it did for them. Renee.
Thank you, Crystal. It's a real privilege to be here to share our story and talk about our partnership with AWS today. My name is Renee Welsh, and I'm the CEO of Embed. You see, Embed are the technology leaders in the family entertainment industry. And our technology is made up of 3 different components. So you've got our software, which is the operational management and booking components. You've got our hardware, which are the readers, the devices attached to the games, and our kiosks. And you also have the RFID media, so the cards, the wearables that I'm using as accessories today, as well as the ability to use your mobile phone to activate gameplay and do a whole host of other things. What's more is that our industry is actually growing at a fairly steady rate of almost 11% compound annual growth rate. But let me share a little bit of our history. We were founded in 2001. Our founder's father has actually had a significant influence on our industry dating way back to 1957. And since we were founded in 2001, we have been considered the technology leaders and pioneers in our industry. Our platform has recently culminated in 2 new product launches, our mobile wallet and most recently, Stats, which is our business intelligence platform. Our platform enables a superior guest experience, streamlined operations, and increased profitability for business operators. We power over 3,000 locations globally across 56 countries. In very simplistic terms, we break our technology up and look at the guest journey. So pre-visit is all of the things that guests and interactions and experiences guests can have with the venue before they arrive. During visit is once you arrive at the venue, the depth and breadth of our solution really shines, and this is where we started our journey back in 2001. And then post-visit, which is all of the data that we capture, obtain, analyze, and process, which is used by the operators to drive repeat visitation and a number of other business strategies. Everything we do at Embed is informed by our mission to enable, empower, and ease the business of fun. We do call it the business of fun, after all. We do have a lot of fun doing what we do. But just to share a little bit more about and give you context around our innovating spirit, I wanted to take you through our mobile wallet just quickly. We launched this product in 2019. It is built on top of our AWS infrastructure, and we partnered with Google and Apple to bring this to market. Our mobile wallet and Embed are the only non-banking, non-loyalty, non-gift card that is able to sit inside the native wallet of your Apple and Android phones. You can use this mobile wallet effectively to interact with the venue outside of the venue before you arrive. So you can check your tickets that you've won, you can reload, you can look at all the games you've played, you can manage your family account. There's quite a bit that you can do. But when we consider the reload, we started to look at the data and the impact this technology has had on our industry. And we increased the average reload value from a cash reload value of $10 to almost $51. It's a 5-time increase in transaction value, which is a phenomenal result for our customers. What's more is that 60% of those interactions happened outside of the venue, which is the epitome of operational efficiency, and the customers don't have to worry about losing their game card or their wearable. Then we started to look at the data a little further to see what our customer cohorts had experienced. We have very, very large enterprise customers, and we have single-site operators. And just to share too, we looked at cohorts of 21 locations, and they received over a 4-month period a 2,839% increase in transaction volume. When we took it down a little bit to a customer with 6 locations, over a 7-month period, they received a 431% increase. Now, I'm going to pause here because these numbers are honestly sensational. We were so pleased and proud of the contribution and the impact that this technology had on our industry, and I know CEOs would kill for results like these. So let's just take a moment. But emboldened with this success of the mobile wallet, we started to think, what's next? How can we beat this? How can we top this? What do we do next? And we started to look at our data. We capture billions and billions of data points every single year. And we realized that at this moment, we only offer manual reporting, 140 reports no less, but it does require our customers to log in, download, manipulate the data themselves, which, as Crystal said, is quite cumbersome. But what we also knew was that deep data visualization is possible, and we wanted to create the mother of all dashboards for our industry. But before we do anything, we do our research, because we don't just want to create and innovate for the sake of it. We want these things to add value to our industry. We discovered that 30% of staff who do data work spend way too much time on data preparation. 44% of time is wasted every single week, and 25% of staff who do data preparation think that the analytics tools that they use are too complex. So in a nutshell, everyone's tearing their hair out, trying to get this information, trying to get the insights that they need to take action and make data-driven decisions, but it's just not available to them. And earlier today, I heard Mark speak, and he was talking about how the leaders of resilient organizations are using data-driven insights to move their business forward. And we weren't offering that, so we needed to change it. So we came to our friends at AWS with this problem and asked how we could solve this issue together. And they introduced us to the Amazon QuickSights team, as well as the professional services team. And together we launched Stats, which is our business intelligence platform that assists the user to understand their business better. We develop dashboards to address the needs of different personas, from the GM right through to marketing and everyone in between. And quite frankly, it would not have been possible for us to develop and launch this product within that 12-week time frame without the support of Amazon QuickSites and the AWS Professional Services team. It really helped us accelerate our development, and they work very closely with our technology team. Obtaining data in a dash in near real time has been a game changer for our industry. So let me show you what we've created. When you log in, you come to the executive summary, which is effectively a snapshot of critical business information around sales, guests, and transactions. For operators with more than one location, they can actually do a quick performance analysis across their locations. They can also see a guest summary that provides a view on attendance levels and trends over time. When you dig a bit deeper into our guest data, operators can understand their guest habits through the average reload values, the games they're playing, the food and beverage that they're purchasing. They can make adjustments to product pricing of the games and other items within the venue. And they can also see the number of new guests at that venue versus the number of returning guests, and really make some informed decisions around marketing promotions, revisitation strategies to drive incremental revenue. So we've established some of you have been to an arcade, so I'm sure you're familiar with our hardware. These devices that sit on the games, we call readers. And I'm sure you can imagine that it's critically important that the uptime of these readers is sufficient for everyone to have a great time and continue to play. So our readers actually set the pricing of the games, the ticket payouts, all sorts of things that manage the operation. And this particular dashboard enables the general manager and the operation manager on the ground to see any readers or games that are having issues. They can go and fix them immediately, or they can take them out of commission and schedule further maintenance. Understanding your labor model is also a very important part of our customers' businesses. And so this dashboard visualizes staffing models per day and hour. It also provides trends for them and ultimately assists them minimize their manpower costs. And inventory relates to all of those amazing things that you can redeem, the lollies, the trinkets that you can take home after you have a great time playing all the games. And in order to manage this, operators need to know their reorder points, consumption, most popular products, and this dashboard assists supply chain and the buyers. Because we work so closely with the AWS Professional Services team to develop stats, it felt very natural for us to be able to launch it together. These photos were taken at our trade show last year in Orlando. It's called IAPA. It's the largest trade show in our industry. And we were very fortunate that the AWS Professional Services team came to launch it at this trade show with us. Since then, we've also launched this in Dubai at the Deal Show, and at the end of this month, I'll be traveling to Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. We're launching stats in that market as well. This was by far the most successful demo we have ever launched at our trade shows. In fact, in Orlando, we actually had to add demo stations very quickly to be able to keep up with the demand, which I have to say was a great problem to have. With every product launch, we create an extremely robust go-to-market strategy. And this product launch was no different. But what we really wanted to do with stats was ensure that our marketing was very clear that it delivered value instantly. And so when individuals of an FEC looked at our marketing and our go-to-market promotions, they instantly understood that value. Stats removes the heavy lifting for FEC operators to allow them to focus on the actual analysis and decision making. Rather than spending time manipulating, cleaning, and understanding the data, with stats, customers can easily consume insights and take action. And I think the insights and action piece have been pivotal, and certainly the sentiment is shared by our customers in the testimonials we've received. Given its game-changing nature, we received a lot of PR coverage. But what's most heartwarming and important is obviously what our customers think about the products that we launch. We say internally that Stats was the product our customers love that they didn't even know they needed. The feedback has truly been incredible, and I have to say it took us quite some time to find a testimonial that didn't use colourful language. Our industry likes to swear a lot, and they're very enthusiastic about this particular product. So this is the cleanest one I could find, but it's a little bit sanitised compared to what we actually have. Our partnership with AWS has created value for Embed in a number of ways. Being the first to market with interactive dashboards has helped Embed cement its position as the technology leader in our industry sector. Stats has added an easy-to-upsell module to our suite of products, and working with AWS adds a great deal of credibility to our solution and our brand. Our customers instantly have confidence in the products that we're delivering to them. We value our partnership with AWS immensely and are sincerely looking forward to working with them to look at what other products and ideas we can bring to our industry to transform the business of fun. So thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to invite Crystal back up on the stage to take us home. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Renee. So what's next for all of us? So after this session, I really strongly urge you to go back and gather a data inventory of what you have today and find out what will be valuable for your customers. Maybe even things that you never even thought would be valuable to them. And then go work backwards. Understand what is preventing the adoption of BI and the consumption of data in your company and resolve them one by one. When you're ready to kickstart some POCs and feel like you need a little help, approach your account team. Ask to hear about the AWS Data-Driven Everything program, D2E, or even the AWS Acceleration Lab. And when you're ready to turn those POCs into MVPs and then into production, you can come in and speak to AWS Professional Services or find an AWS partner to help you. If your team feel like they need a little bit more work in the skills, consider Skills Builder at AWS. We have over 600 free digital courses, hands-on labs, and games. And with that, we come to the end of our session. Thank you so much for attending. If you want to keep in touch with any of us, you can go to any of the links here and make sure to fill in the session survey. Thank you all so much.